get things rolling quick. All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out every week to prophesy the downfall of the wicked kingdom, also known as Babylon in the scriptures, also known as spiritually Nineveh, spiritual Egypt, to where our people are still trapped in spiritual bondage in their minds. All right, but before we do so, we want to give praises to the Most High and His Son in the ancient Hebrew, the Lashawan Kodash, which means the holy tongue, not English where they call him Jesus, which is the false name of the Lord. All right, so we're going to say Call, Alayu, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. All right, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders, and Shalom to you, Akim, which means brothers, and Akwatium, which means sisters, that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth, because that's what this is about. Somebody get that? Where it say spirit and truth? Right.
It's John 4:24. Yahweh, check it out.
Yep.
John 4:24. Yahweh is the spirit, and they that worship him must worship. Start at 20 what? 22. John 4:22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Right. So salvation is for who? The Israelites. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers worship the Father in spirit and in truth. When the Father seeks such that worship Him.
That's right. So the Lord, the Most High, Yahweh, is looking for those that want to worship Him in spirit and in truth, man. All right. Not look at that Romans 10 and 3, 10 and 2. Romans 10 and 2.
This is Romans.
Oh, yeah, good.
Chapter 10, verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High.
Right, these people got a zeal towards the Most High. Like you might run into some jakes, and they might be compassionate towards the Lord, but not in spirit and truth. And it's just that simple. Go ahead.
But not according to knowledge.
But not according to the knowledge of the Lord. They don't have the knowledge. All right, because and that shows that they truly don't. Not only that they don't, but that they can't fear the Most High the correct way. All right. So what did it say again?
Romans 10 and 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge.
Right. So they celebrate customs which are vain, which are pagan. You know. Go one more verse.
Verse 3 of Romans 10.
It's satanic.
For they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness.
Right, because he said what? Spirit acceptable to the Most High? Is that sacrifice acceptable? Alright, go ahead.
It says, for they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness,
right, study to show yourself approved,
have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Right, man. See that? They have not submitted to what? The truth. That's the righteousness. They have not submitted to Yahweh Shai, and also they have not submitted under the mighty hand of the Lord. Let me get that. Hold up.
You do one study yourself.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, get that one.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
Right, see that? So you got to study to show yourself approved. And when you talk to most of these pastors, they're not studying correctly or they're not studying at all. You see that? They only know fables that were told to them, like Easter, which goes back to Ishtar, which is a pagan folly day that goes back to the ancient paganism. All right? Paganism is basically another word for Satanism. All right, so now, look at that. 1 Peter 5 and maybe like 5. Let's go there.
1 Peter 5 and 5. Reach the lively stones.
5 and 5.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5 and verse 5.
Yeah.
It says, likewise ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For Yahweh resisted the proud and giveth grace to the humble.
Right, there you go. So they won't do it. They won't submit themselves under who? The voice of the Lord. Let's go to that real quick. And what's that, Baruch? 2? Chapter 2? All right. Because this is the spirit of the Lord, the spirit of truth, man. You know what I mean? Not no feeling that they keep saying they feeling in church. I feel the Holy Spirit right now. That's what Buddy just said to me over here. Huh?
Relationship.
Yeah, relationship. We deal with that. You know, that's something else.
Okay.
I got like 11 or something.
This is Baruch chapter 1, verse 21. Nevertheless, we have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord, our power, Yahweh.
See, these people, the Israelites, the Lord not looking for the whole world to follow him, man. He's not coming back to save the whole world. But still you always see 2/3. You see these heathens, they all always clicked up together, man, celebrating something. Why? Because they're all in that same spirit of folly. They're all in that same spirit of darkness. They're all in the that's what's called the congregation of the dead. That's what they do. They congregate in that spirit of what? Wickedness, lies, which is also called darkness. All right? So they're of the dark, we're of the light. And the dark hates the light.
You guys keep it up.
All right, appreciate it. There you go. Yeah.
Hey, peace of 4 o'clock,
Keep going, man. Keep going.
Peace of 4 o'clock.
Oh, I hear you though. I hear you though. I hear you though.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you too, man.
All right, Baruch 1 and 21. Nevertheless, we have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord, our power,
Get that gift destroyed the heart.
according to all the words of the prophets whom he sent unto us.
So who's the voice of the Lord? All the words that come from the prophets, man. So who are the prophets of the Lord? The men that the Lord set up of the children of Israel only. All right. And he said, what? What's that? Peter, where it say, sheep and wolves and sheep's clothing?
Oh, no, I know what it is.
No, there should be false teachers among you.
Come on, let's match Appreciate it.
Yeah, I need that one real quick.
False teachers among you.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 Peter 2 and 1.
Bring up that,
2 Peter 2 and 1.
This is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1.
That wasn't it? Yeah.
It said,
Oh, good, good.
it says, but there were false prophets also among the people.
Right, there's going to be false prophets today. There's nothing to panic about or get emotional about it. You just do your part. You teach them. If they don't hear it, the Lord said, cast not your pearls before swine. And we in the time of the 10 virgins, man. Where the 5 are going to be, half are going to be wise and the other half going to be foolish. You know?
Yahushua also said, let them alone, they be blind leaders. Yahushua also said, let them alone, they be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind fall to the blind, they both shall fall into the ditch.
Right.
Look at that. That's low.
Yeah. That's y'all low. They better hope that y'all don't fall.
He's carrying something.
Alright? Well, let's get some information. Yeah, we'll go there too. Look at all of them. Look at the temple. You got it too.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, and verse 7. It says, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart.
There you go. See that? A gift gonna destroy the heart, man. So that's why he's trying to offer peace offering. I got pizza at 4 o'clock. Pizza probably got pork on it. You get what I'm saying? And then it's like, no, man.
He loves the oppression. That's why he's not mad. That's why he in that, oh, everybody come together spirit. Because in his mind, he's not really oppressed. He think God love everybody, and this kingdom gonna go on forever and ever. They're gonna celebrate eternity of Easter and shit.
That's the product of a slave thinking that he's free. You're not free until you become Yahushua's workman.
Right. Romans 14 and 17. We're gonna get to all them scriptures I call. We're just kind of building up the conversation. All right? Because they're trying to give you a gift just to keep you cool or to change your doctrine, man.
Romans 14 and 17.
But then as soon as you try to speak to them, they don't want to hear a word that come out your mouth.
It says, for the kingdom of Yahweh is not meat and drink.
Yeah, read again.
All right, Romans 14 and 17.
Yeah.
For the kingdom of Yahweh is not meat and drink.
Not in me.
Shlakia.
For the kingdom of Yahweh is not. No, it just says not meat and drink. All right, so for the kingdom of Yahweh is not meat and drink, but righteousness and peace and joy in the Holy Ghost.
There you go. So it's not about offering food. You know what I mean? It's about righteousness and peace. What's peace, man? Dealing with who? Yahweh, the truth, the spirit of truth. You have to honor his son to honor the Father. So you got to deal with the spirit of truth, which is going to cause peace between who? Let's get that real quick. The Father and the Son. There you go.
Ooh, I got you.
Somebody get that too. You get what you get. Matthew 5 and 9 real quick.
You need it now? Matthew 5 and 9?
Yeah.
This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
There you go. All right. The Lord say, blessed are the peacemakers. And who are the peacemakers? The ones that deal with Yahweh, which is the mediator. All right. You got to deal with the spirit of truth. And also it said the peacemakers, right? Blessed are they. So what's that? Revelation 1 and 3. All right. Let's see how they're blessed.
Book of Revelations, chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth.
Oh, so those same ones that read. Somebody got that study to show yourself approved?
Yeah.
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
Revelations 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein.
So blessed are the ones that read. So they're the ones that's going to do what? Go out and wake up their people, go and teach their people. They're the ones that get to the water first. Or the ones that hear the prophecies from the teachers, from the voice of the Lord, the prophets, and they go and read themselves and get stronger in this truth. That's what this is about. All right? Blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are the ones that's trying to pull the elect of Israel back to the Father. That's the whole goal of this. You know, not to make money, not to get attention, not to come out here just to cuss people out like some people do. Not to just have something to pass the time with. Our whole goal is to pull the elect back to the Father, man. Somebody get that? They say, return the hearts of the children to the Father.
Malachi 4 and 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord.
Right, so Elijah already came on the scene. He came back as John the Baptist, Yakanan, which is the time of grace. The door of grace was opening. And then he also returned before the great and dreadful day in the 1960s as Abba Bivens, teaching right here on the soils in Babylon, America. Elijah was here. All right, go ahead.
Verse 6, and he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse.
See that? Because that's why the Lord said, Revelation 7, he was going to wake up his elect before he destroyed this place. Unless he come and smite the earth with a curse and we still be asleep. So the Most High promised he was going to send Elijah. All right? And what was Elijah going to do? His office was going to increase just like Paul's to the Gentiles. All right? And our job is to what? To return the hearts of the children to the Father, and so on and so on. That's what we are here to do. Return the hearts of the children to Yahweh. All right? To the prophets. Precept?
I have this up.
Go ahead. Let's run these real quick.
All right, this is Psalms 51 and 12. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. So that's basically our job.
No, you're right. They're not teaching sinners their ways. You know, they're not teaching sinners to convert back to the Father. They're not teaching sinners to repent. They're saying, come as you are. The Lord like, no, you're going to get rejected like Mutombo.
Yeah.
You know? What you talking about? Yeah, you can catch it. Yeah.
Too far?
I got another one.
Yeah, you can catch it, but I ain't trying to worry about that. But over here behind us, they're having an Easter event. And it just so happened we're rebuking.
This is Psalms 51 and 6. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, And in the hidden parts thou makest me to understand wisdom, to know wisdom.
Right, that was the Most High desire for you to have truth within your inward part, right? To fill up your cup, don't reject it. But how can the Lord fill up a cup that's already full of old wine? You got to pour out the old wine to be able to fill up the cup with the new wine. The new wine is the doctrine of truth, right? It comes from talking about the blood of the grape. It goes into the truth. And then he also says in Psalms 23 that that cup shall run over. But a lot of these people are empty cups. And their inward parts are like sepulchres. They're graves, man. All right, go ahead.
It's Matthew chapter 15, verse 7. Ye hypocrites.
Yeah, hypocrites. That's what they are. They're hypocrites. They claim to love the Most High, but they don't show it. If you love somebody, you're going to do what they say. If you love me, keep my commandments. In part, the main commandment today is to teach the truth about Yahushua, about the Holy Spirit, which is the Spirit of truth. Right? That's the first commandment now.
It says, ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, this people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines and the commandments of men.
There you go. So where did Easter come from? It came all the way from ancient Babylon, ancient Assyria. During the times of Jeremiah, Isaiah, they were worshiping these idols, man. All right, let me get this real quick. Isaiah 9:16. Then we're gonna go into the topic dealing with Easter in a second.
In the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 16, it says, for the leaders of this people cause them to err.
Right, it's the leaders, man. It's the leaders that follow those fables. It's the leaders that follow this false doctrine. That follow this false doctrine. It's the leaders of their families. It's the leaders in these churches that this government set up. Right? These Baptist churches, Christian churches, Adventists, whatever you want to call them. They're the ones that's causing our what?
It says, for the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed.
They that are led of them are destroyed, man. All right, why? Because Hosea 4:5, what's that? 4 and 6. 4 and 6. All right, this is how they destroy it right here. Somebody get that? He's a lie. He's the father of a lie. He's a lie.
John 8:45.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy children. I will also forget thy children.
Look at that, man. See that? So, can you read that first part again? I got this in my head.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, and thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children.
There you go, see? Oh, man. That's right, man, because Jeremiah 8:3, all right, because they rejected it. There's another scripture right on the tip of my tongue, man.
This is Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 3.
Yep.
It says, and death shall be chosen rather than life.
See, they reject the truth. When you try to tell them that Easter is wicked, you try to tell them that Halloween, where did they get all this stuff from, man? These are commandments of men, that especially the Greeks, that kind of forced it on our people back in 168 BC. All right, that Greek mindset, that Babylonian mindset, that Egyptian mindset. Go ahead, brother.
It says, and death shall be chosen rather than life.
Right, so to be destroyed is death. So they're choosing that destruction. When they choose Easter, like what they're doing over here right now, that's death, man. That's like the end of the Terminator movie when they were playing and shit. Sinead O'Connor, what's her name?
You said it right.
Sinead O'Connor.
Sarah, damn.
Yeah, Sinead O'Connor, that's somebody else, right?
That's the second
Around the world.
Yeah. There you go. That one right there. That's all this is, man. He said they were eating and drinking and giving in marriage, man. What do you think the children was doing at that time? Playing, laughing, partying, right? Offering you, not pizza back then, but they probably offering you pork. But now look, this was about to happen, right? And she was on the other side of the gate looking at it.
And the crazy part about it is one of the customs of Easter is to have a feast, right? And the main dish for that feast is a ham. It's a ham. It's the main. If you look up Easter, the main dish for that feast for Easter is a ham.
Damn ham, man. And it's doing nothing but getting the corporations more rich. And I was trying to tell this fool over here that 3 days going to amount to what the scriptures say. Evening to evening. Because if it started on a Friday, you say Good Friday to a Sunday, then he would have rose on Monday. From Friday evening, that's one, to Saturday evening. Saturday evening to Sunday evening, that's 2 days. Sunday evening to Monday, it'd be on Monday.
Yeah.
So they off anyway.
Reset.
I was gonna say, one of my wives, her grandfather's a pastor, and when I was basically teaching him about the new moon, I was teaching him. I brought out the Sirach chapter, the Sirach chapter 43 and verse 6. I was teaching about the new moon and stuff like that, and I came back a few days later, and what he took out of that new moon is he couldn't have rose on Friday. He could have had it down. He tried to incorporate it with that whole Good Friday and when JC died. I'm just like, he ain't had nothing else to say about anything about the new moon. One thing he took is to try to incorporate it with the Christianity. So I'm just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to pour out that original old wine.
Gone.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Go ahead, brother.
It's the book of
And then I got y'all.
Matthew chapter 13 and verse 44. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in the field, the which when a man had found, he hideth it, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field. So it's not going into no Easter egg hunt. They have their little Easter egg hunt. They do the whole Easter egg hunt thing, and they basically try to they skip over the Lord's high holy day Passover, and then they celebrate Easter basically. But this truth is what we basically found, and we go and change our whole life around based off this truth basically.
Right. That was the scriptures say, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. I'm not seeking no damn Easter eggs.
Right. That Easter egg just goes back to was it Ishtar?
Ishtar, yeah. Yep. The queen of heaven. That's what they called it in the ancient times. All right. And with this space flight that just happened, that Baphomet space flight.
Oh yeah.
Right, we saw the symbols and all that. It's like a Baphomet symbol upside down. They're all 6 women crew. And Katy Perry, she's a known devil worshiper and a worshiper of Kali.
Yeah.
And when she went up there in space, the first thing she said was, "Oh my goddess." That's what she said. Katy Perry's like, "Oh my goddess, look at this." He said, "Oh, the moon's pink, ain't it?" They pushing some feminism stuff. And then you look up in 2017, Katy Perry was worshiping Kali, the female with the orange.
Yeah. I mean, one of her famous songs, "Dark Horse."
Yeah.
That's a whole bunch of demonism and all that.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of wickedness in that video.
You're right, man. So yeah.
You even look at the shape of the shuttle is basically.
It's hot out here, guys.
Appreciate it.
Love you guys.
Me too, man. No doubt, brother. Thank you, man.
Go ahead, finish your point.
Yeah, I was just saying that even the shape of the shuttle, if you go back and look at it, it's like some old Nimrod type of stuff they're trying to do right there. You know what I'm saying? They got it shaped like the manhood. You know what I'm saying? So again, that whole Babylon, worshiping that, rod and all that phallic symbol. Yeah. They pushing all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw that. Give us space. Give me up space. That was a shot at Trump. All right, where we at?
You still want the father of lies?
Right after they bring theirs up. And then you got something too? We'll go to yours first and then we'll run down the line. Then we go back to you, and then boom, get back to the lesson.
This is Tobit chapter 2, verse 6. Remembering that prophecy of Amos, as he said, your feast shall be turned into mourning, and all your mirth into lamentation.
Right?
Hey, Con, man, why is that going to happen? Why? Because they're continuing in the acts of the world. They're continuing in the acts of man, man. They're not doing out the acts of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, what he told us, what he commanded us to do, you know. Not rehearsing the righteous acts. They playing out the acts of Esau, man, you know. A tradition passed down by men, you know. So therefore, as the elder brought out earlier, now is the time when the true worship shall worship in spirit and in truth. And that's what you're witnessing right there, all right? As we out here presenting our body as a living sacrifice, seeking the Lord while he may be found, not no eggs, man. Neither do they deal with truth, neither do they deal with logic, you know?
Right, creating little games, what they call cornhole.
Hey, shit, they gave us bread and circuses, and they making more inside of the bread and circuses, going deeper with it.
All right, so the Lord looking for the elect, that's it, man. You know, somebody get that 2 second number that they're longing for.
That is Isaiah 30 and 8. Now go write it before them in the table and note it in the book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people.
Right, so our people still rebellious, right?
Lying children.
Lying children, so they teaching the lies of the devil. Somebody brought that out already?
John 8:44, it says, ye are of your father the devil.
See, we're teaching lies, go ahead.
The lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. And because I tell you truth, you believe me not.
See that? All right, and our people, like the brother, the guy that keep bringing us this poison water he just brought over here. This tainted water. You know, we said bitter water. Yeah, we got the living water. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Isaiah 30 and 9. That is the rebellious people, lying children. Children know not hear the law of Yahweh. We say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things, prophesy to seeds. Oh, that's what the 2/3 of our people want to hear. They want to hear simplicity. Continue on in Rome. Yeah, let's play some hack and sack today, whatever they got going on. And look for some heads. They don't want to hear no correction, no true wisdom, not to understand it. They don't want to repent to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They want to be accepted as they are, walking around here naked and unprotected. But that's not going to suffice in the day of judgment. But they don't want to be told that. They want to enjoy their time partying in Babylon. So they'll try to dim our light so they can continue on in darkness of this world. But the Lord the one cutting the light on it. You can't stop them. That's just what it is. Hey, and also too, it says they turned away their ear from hearing the law too. So in that time of tribulation, while they out here with their head stuck up their ass, man, in that time of tribulation, they won't be able to call upon the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Because guess what? You could say they that turn their ear from hearing the law, even their prayers shall be abomination, man. So you are what you eat. You're eating abomination spiritually and physically. So you are what you eat, man. And so during that time of tribulation, you won't be able to call on the Lord. Why? Because you've been doing abominable things, man.
Yep, that's right. Somebody get that. 2 Samuel 22 and 29. I'm gonna get y'all precepts in 1 second. Oh, yeah, read it.
2 Samuel 22 and 29. It says, for thou art my lamb, O Lord.
Lamp.
I'm slacking. For thou art my lamp, O Lord, and the Lord will lighten my darkness.
Woo, see that? All right, go ahead. Somebody go to Job, actually Psalms 18 and 28, and then Isaiah 5 and 20. Yep, Psalms 18 and 28.
This is Psalms 18, verse 28. For thou wilt light my candle.
See that? The Lord lit our candle. Remember that in the scriptures? You should not put a candle under a bushel. That's why we come out here and teach. All right, go ahead.
For thou wilt light my candle. The Lord Yahweh, my power, will enlighten my darkness.
Right, that's what the Lord said. These scriptures are of no private interpretation. All these people with their own doctrine, saying they got this, the Lord told me the doctrine. No, it said what? I'm gonna have to get that too. Because it's a spirit that's speaking right now, called what? The spirit of truth. And, you know what I mean? And you're gonna be able to tell those men. All right, not going to different universities getting taught all this different madness, a gumbo of doctrines. All right.
Isaiah 5:20.
Yeah. Yep.
So Isaiah,
the Lord said the light is within those men that He ignited, and He the one that lit their candle. And this is what they say about that light. Go ahead.
this is Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Woo! See that? They think Easter. That's what I was trying to explain. It's not really their fault that they're mocking us. That's why the Lord told them, don't sit in the seat of the scornful.
One more verse.
Yep. It's only because they truly think they're correct.
Because what he said to you, he's like, well, there's nothing wrong with celebrating, the rising of him. It's like, no, that's a good thing. It's like, yeah, it's a good thing, but he didn't give it to us to celebrate as a holy day. We remember it, yeah, but we don't make a holiday out of it.
Yeah, this transition.
Gone.
You're wearing a cross, like you might as well wear. If it was electrocuted electrical chair, we had to wear
A thunderbolt. Light
right?
Zeus.
Zeus.
Right.
And that lets you know, hey, just like the elder was saying, man, they not wrong, because they really just a whole bunch of Bobby Bouchers, man. Mama said, instead of looking at what the Lord has established and looking at what He has said, man. It ain't about what your mama said, it ain't about what your daddy said, it's what the Lord Yahweh Shai has prescribed. If you in somebody's house and they tell you to do this and do that, you gotta abide by their rules. If not, they gonna kick you out, man. So when the Lord Yahweh Shai makes his return, you're not doing the things that are pleasing unto Him and to His house and to His abode upon this earth, man. Shit, He gonna apply belt to ass, man.
Right. That's why I read that earlier. They have a zeal, but not according to knowledge, which does make them wrong. But some of them, their intentions is not to scoff. You know, they're truly trying to be compassionate to the Lord, but they didn't take the steps that we read from the beginning. Studying to show yourself approved. Listening to the men of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You got to take those steps to build up that oil so the Lord can light your lamp. Without the oil, there will be no combustion.
They skipped the
Or
most
the
important.
light will go out. Sorry about that. No,
They skipped the most important step. You have to come to Yahweh Shai empty.
yeah.
If they don't show up to Him empty, there's nothing they're gonna be able to. Their cup is already full.
They can't bring that bullshit we was born in, man. Talking about Easter, Halloween, and all that shit. Grandma, one of them taught us. We can't bring that. Yeah, you got one? Real quick, then we're gonna go down here. There's still like 4 people out here. Go ahead, brother.
Just pulling the scripture that the elder was speaking on. This 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed,
There you go.
rightly dividing the word of truth. Verse 16.
All right, so what are they dividing over there, man? They're not breaking down the scriptures correctly to understand the precept, the proverbs, the parable, the spirit of truth. To see the deception that they put on our people. They're not looking for the truth, man. All right, they're looking for things that fit their own narrative.
Yeah, the only thing they're dividing is the spoils, because they get rich off the people with the false doctrine, and they're collecting souls. You know what I'm saying? That's they're dividing the spoils among the wicked. That's the only thing they're dividing. They're not dividing the word of truth.
Right, man. All right, go ahead, brother.
It says in verse 16, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 16, but shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness.
You supposed to shun that, man. As soon as somebody say, hey, happy Easter, you supposed to shun that. Nah, that's wickedness, man. I don't deal with that. We don't deal with no Easter. I ain't teaching that to my children, Pastor. I like your name, Building, you mean? But I ain't with all that, man. You know, too many lies. He said, but shun vain. It's a vain babbling, man. Easter bunny. Bunny laying eggs. He celebrate his resurrection. Those are all vain babbling, man. All right, go ahead.
This is celebrating His resurrection.
Yeah.
Because without His resurrection, we wouldn't be able to ever do this.
Right.
Without His sacrifice, I should say.
John chapter 8, verse 31 and 32. Then said Yahweh Shai to those Jews which believe on him.
Right, we are here to wake up the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that they're the Israelites of the Bible. We got to repent. We got to pull our children away from this Easter bunny laying eggs madness and deal with the truth about Yahushua, a so-called black man that they killed in 37 AD. Our king, go ahead, brother. The king of Judah, the king of Israel, the king of the universe, named Yahushua. Go ahead.
If ye continue in my words, then are ye my disciples indeed.
Right, so we're supposed to continue in the words of the Lord. And what did the Lord say? You got to worship him in spirit and in truth. We're not supposed to be dealing with these churches. We're not supposed to be dealing with churches with what? 2 or 3 are called out in his name. We're not supposed to be dealing with no Easter bunny, no Easter ham. Go ahead.
Verse 32, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
There you go. You want to speak on it?
You know, the elder went and talked to him about the truth, and he came out and said something about, well, the name doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, if he's married, I don't know, why he doesn't call his wife by another name, find out what happened.
Find out what happened. You call your wife by that.
All right, go ahead.
Christians. That's right, man. Call Betty right, Betty left, and see what happens. Go ahead. Somebody. A card, then I'm going out here.
This is Amos chapter 5 and verse 21, and it's straight to the point. It says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assembly.
There you go, and that's really going into our holy days, you know, because our people weren't keeping them correctly. But even now, that's why the Lord said, you shall no longer call me Ba'ali. You should call me Ishi, man. That's the only way the Lord's gonna deal with us. We gotta know who our husbandman is. The ox knoweth his owner, the ass is master crib, but Israel doeth not know. They don't even consider. You know, so he said, you want to deal with him, you can't be calling him all these false names, man. Dealing with, worshiping him the wrong way. Trying to get into the room through a different door. All right, go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 8, and verse 20.
That's right. The father's true name is Yahweh. The son's name is Yahushua, a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. This is what these churches don't want us to know. All right, brother. That's right, man. That's what he wanted to hear today. Yeah.
Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 20, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Right. There's no light in them. So of course they're going to hate on you. They're going to say, how you got the light? He said, what? If the light in them be darkness, how great is that light? So it's like it gets darker and darker, more wicked and more wicked, man. So where they become a contender against you. Begin to scoff. You know what I mean? All right, so, yeah, go ahead, brother.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 5. Ye are all children of the light and the children of the day.
What did Yahweh just read? He said, what did you say at the beginning of yours?
Oops.
Got it.
I got it.
All right.
Say, then Yahushua said to those Jews which believe on him, if ye continue in my word, ye are my disciples indeed.
See? Yeah, his disciples indeed, right? Go ahead.
It says 1 Thessalonians 5 and 5.
We got to continue in his word and what he commanded us to do in the truth. Go ahead.
Ye are all children of the light.
So who is that? Who is all the children of the light? The number
This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, verse 40.
Right, we are here to wake up the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans to the truth about Yahweh and his son Yahushua. Go ahead, brother.
Take thy number, O Zion, and set up those of thine that are clothed in white.
Ooh, so there's only a few that's going to be clothed in white. 144,000 men, and 1/3 of the men, women, and children. Those are the ones that clothed in white. Why? Because they're being cleansed by Yahushua through the sacrifice that Yahushua did for them. By submitting under the mighty hands of the Father, which is through Yahushua. Go ahead.
Which have fulfilled the law of the Lord Yahweh.
Right, fulfill the law. What's the law? It says this. Hold up, let me get this real quick. Let me get that. If I can get it. It is Romans 3 and 27. This is the law now. All right?
3:27.
Yep, this is the law.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 3 and verse 27.
Right, this is the law we under now. We keep the law to the best of our ability, but this is the law that he's talking about they fulfill. Go ahead.
It says, where is boasting in? It is excluded. By what law? Of works? Nay, but by the law of faith.
There you go. So read that again. So these are the ones that fulfilled the whole law. What? The law of faith. Kept their faith to the end. Right?
Which have fulfilled the law of the Lord. The number, you want to stop from the top before?
Oh, no, you can.
Okay. Verse 41, the number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled.
Right.
Beseech the power of the Lord Yahweh that thy people, which have been called from the beginning,
You gotta be called from the beginning.
may be hallowed.
That they may be that they may be separated before the destruction. And this is the sif. All right, this is the Amos 9 and 8. The sif. Then we'll go right back with you. What did you just read?
Yeah, I'm finished.
All right, yeah, Amos real quick with the sif. All right, so he said that they may be hallowed. What's hallowed? They were called from the beginning, and they had to be separated in the end to show who they are, that they're the elect. All right, go ahead.
This is Amos chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it off the face of the earth, saying that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord.
There you go. Go ahead.
For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. Hey, Con, man. Hey, so, hey, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. What's that sinful kingdom? This place right here, America, Babylon, man. Hey, so he has his angels going to and fro, looking at all the wickedness going on down here, recording it. And that's by way of the angels above and by us too as the mentions down here as well, man. Isaiah 58 and 1. We're marking those, crying aloud, sparing none, lifting up my voice like a trumpet of those that are going contrary to the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. So therefore, if you're going contrary to what the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has commanded, a war is going to be unto you, man. He's going to number you to that sword according to Isaiah 65 and 12. All right? Why? Because as of right now, Isaiah 65 and 12, therefore when the Lord called out to you, he did not answer. Therefore, when the Lord spake to you, you did not hear. So therefore, he's going to number you to the sword, man, because you chose to dwell in where he delights not, man. What he doesn't delight in, these pagan holidays, man. You know?
Yeah, the congregation of the dead, he doesn't delight in them.
God.
All right. Matthew 25 and 31, to back up, I'll record real quick. Yep. Come in and back up this scripture.
Matthew 25 and 31.
Right, so that they may be hallowed, man. It's about the separation that the Most High is making. It's that simple. Right?
It says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall he be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided the sheep from the goats.
Right.
And he shall set the sheep on his right hand,
Everybody that's celebrating Easter, they're gonna be on the left.
but the goats on the left.
Yeah, they're gonna be numbered with the damn goats. Right? And we know the goat represent Esau, the damn devil. Cesare Borgia. They're gonna be numbered with the goats, man, not with the sheep. Alright? So where was that? We need to get to the lesson. I need to get going, man. Alright, Ephesians 5 and 9. And then we'll go to these right after that. Start working that a little bit. Ephesians 5 and 9, Proverbs 21 and 16.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 9. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth.
Right, they don't have the fruit of the Spirit. They don't have the fruit of the Spirit. The Lord said you judge every tree by its fruit that it bears. And their tree is what? A rotten, poison fruit. Right, which is called wild fruit. False doctrine. That's the fruit they bear. The same fruit that deceived Eve. Right, the serpent deceived Eve in the garden. Go ahead.
Ephesians 5 and 10.
False doctrine.
Proving what is acceptable unto Yahweh. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
Bro, so we're not supposed to have no fellowship with them. So what did he say to us? I got some water for y'all. I love y'all. It's cool. All right, we like you, huh? But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're not fellowshipping with them. All right, they got children over there. They playing hacky sack, shit, horseshoe, cornhole. But at the end of the day, they have no, God is not in the midst of them, man. It's crazy. That's scary, man. That's like it makes me think about a circus. Some demonic shit. You know, everybody having fun, but ain't nothing righteous about it. Like, you know, just like when you go to New Orleans, what's that shit called?
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. You go to Mardi Gras, everybody having fun, but we know the root of it is satanic. You know, just like a circus, right? That's right. The Father's true name is Yahweh, the Son name Yahweh. We gotta pull away from these things, right?
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners.
Oh, that's right, man. Evil communication. That's why we can't fellowship with them. That poison might get on us.
Hey, Con, man, they laid the bait out. Shit, what Peak said for come through, just like that, like they brought out earlier, man. A gift destroyeth the heart. So if anybody come over there, you know, going for the bait, shit, they go. Next thing you know, shit, they gonna be over there throwing frisbee, hacky sack, whatever the case may be. Shit, they gonna be indulging in the BS, man.
Yeah, which that would be just physical sport. But the thing is, you're gonna have to talk at some point. You got to talk with them at some point, and they're gonna bring up their doctrine. And you're gonna be in such a playful mood, it's gonna be hard to just be in that rebuking spirit. You know, like if you're around your family and friends all day, they're not gonna want to hear about the truth. So 90% of your day is gonna be filled up with what they got to say. So that's why I say what evil communications corrupt good manners. I mean, it'll pull you out of the truth. Have you a gift destroys the heart, the way you're supposed to think in this truth, keeping the laws. All right. So you fellowship with the wicked, you're gonna become like the wicked.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes 10 and 1. Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor.
Yeah, that's what we smell. We smell the damn stink savor coming from over there in them churches. Broken cisterns, dirty water.
So doeth a little folly with this in repetition for wisdom and honor. Reputation. This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 1. Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary.
Man, look at all these look at these dead flies. And Esau the Lord of flies. A bunch of dead flies on here. You know?
It says
flies on shit.
To send forth a stinking savor.
Right. Yeah, you got have the purest oil. The Lord said He's gonna fill our cup up with oil. But then you put a fly in it, that's gonna taint it. You know, just like this. Go ahead and read that part. Right, so we grew up thinking TD Jakes was cool. We grew up thinking, what's his name? Creflo Dollar, all these people were just, I ain't know what the hell they was. They were just
on TV all the time.
Just always on TV, just like, you know, family, cousins or uncle, you know. You see them doing what they do.
Two of the major ones in my time growing up were Jimmy Swagger and what's the one that he used to sell out stadiums?
I don't know, but yeah. But my thing is, you ain't talking about TD?
It was a white dude.
No, he's talking about the one who's
I'm
like,
talking about Jake. That's my thing, man. We looked at them as normal, not knowing that they were attacking us the whole time. You know, they were attacking our people and we didn't even know it the whole time.
What's the one that took the L from AIDS?
Him too.
I can't remember his name.
Bishop, no, I know you're talking about that. Bishop Longthorn, Eddie Long.
Eddie Long.
That's what they called each other.
For that to take you to remember his name is crazy.
So, read the next part.
It says, soldiers and little folly are following him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor.
See that? Because that's what field we're in. We're in the office of a sage, and the sages deal with wisdom and knowledge. So these people claim to be in the office of intellectual or spiritual
Inclination.
or religious conversation. You know, just talking amongst intellectual property, you know, knowledge and wisdom. That's our office. So if they claim to be that, and you put flies in their shit, in their oil, it's tainted. You know, they were known, like we seen this dude, he seemed cool. But at the same time, we lose respect for him when he try to teach us about it. You know what I mean?
Even going to be falsely presented as such, like the Jake in the Apocrypha, who they try to get him to eat pork, and he said, "No, I ain't gonna eat it." But they said, "We'll slide you a piece of land, but just make it seem like you eat pork." And he didn't want that stain to be on his reputation because he had a good reputation of being the righteous man of Israel. So he didn't even want it to look like he was being mischievous or going off. You know what I'm saying? So like these people don't even care. You know, they have not one fly, but a whole bunch. There ain't nothing but flies in it. And that's what they spewing out. I mean, they, a whole bunch of Tic Tacs just because ain't nothing but doodle coming out of their mouth.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 12, verse 10. Many pastors have destroyed my vineyard.
Oh, many pastors have destroyed his vineyard, man. Go ahead, brother.
They have trodden my portion underfoot. They have made my pleasant portion a desolate wilderness.
Damn, they have made. See, this goes way back to Jerusalem, man. He said nothing new under the sun. You know, we've been led astray by our pastors in the past, man. The leaders of our people that erred in the land of Israel, and they caused our land to be what? Desolate and wilderness. And the wilderness represents a dry place, a desert. But also, the Lord said He was going to send water to the dry places. So it's also spiritual. So they caused our people to be what? Desolate. Right? Spiritually. Right? You know what I mean? Right, go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 25, 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay in wait as he that set his snares, they set a trap, they catch men.
There you go. See that? We ain't no TD Jakes. Catching men.
Wow. Let's see what you did there.
Power model and shit. His name, bro. You know what I mean? They lay in wait. Catch men. There you go.
Diddy parties.
Diddy parties, man. What's the other one? Close the door. Close the fucking door.
Oh, yeah.
Marvin Sapp.
Yeah, they catching men. Filthy looking. Filthy looking. All right. So they're doing the bidding of the devil on the left hand side. Is to catch men in the snare of the devil, man. All right, so they can be caught up and then change when Yahweh shall show up. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Matthew 7.
Whoever want to rock, go ahead.
Matthew 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening wolves. So according to the flesh, him drinking water, inviting us to his little party, whatever, that sounds good. When you look at that through the lens of Yahweh Shem Shai, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He act like he our friend. But he can't tend to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, can't add to with not understanding light being shined over here. So he can't, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's trying to take away from that light. He want our people partaking in his tar day, which takes, that leading our people away from the light of the Lord into the darkness of this world. And he's destroying our people, even though he seems to be doing good work according to the flesh. That's not what the Lord told us to be out here doing. He told us to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom. He don't want this place to fall, because that's going to be the end of his, with his little Babylon party they got going on.
All right, go ahead.
Psalm chapter 70, verse 4. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee.
Right.
And let such as love thy salvation say continually, let Yahweh be magnified. You know, they're entertaining people over there. They're not doing the work in the name of Yahweh. You know, they just entertaining them just to distract them so they don't hear the truth. Playing some music over there so they don't hear the word.
Right, and that music did enough damage to our people already. That's what they should do. Instead of bringing us that dirty ass water.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 1. Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters.
See, they're not thirsty. They feel like they full already. They talk about you got to drink in there. That was crazy time, and that was the time. I was saying they're not thirsty.
It says, he that have no money, come ye and buy and eat. Yeah, come buy wine and milk without money and without price.
That's right. You don't need $100 to join this church every month, Sakari. You know these church people, man. We need to put Sakari on here now.
What?
We need to put Alizar on here, man. Really? Glorilla. Remember that?
Maybe that's what they meant by tubular.
Oh yeah. They said because his mom and all that. You know, it's Jake. But this is the thing, man. But I don't know the way he be acting.
What do they call mamzer?
Yeah. Now, you know, they wrong for that because they going to his mom. But anyway. So about the money, $100 a month. He had to pay to be in his congregation. Yep. Yeah, he said anybody in his congregation, so you got 300 people, that's like $30,000. That's why he'll play with that type of money. Then you got churches, they get all the money. The corporations, they get paid from these holidays. The one dude said it on the internet. What he said, January you got New Year's.
February, Valentine's, Black History Month.
Before all that, you got Thanksgiving.
I'm talking about, start from
the beginning.
So, what's that? New Year's, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Lent and all that mess. 4th of July,
Labor Day,
Juneteenth, Labor Day,
Memorial Day,
the Lucky John, shit.
St. Patrick's
Fashion.
St. Patrick's Day.
Just the major holidays.
Holidays. These some holidays, ain't they? Holidays.
They added all their to BS in there. Grandfather's Day, Grandmother's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day,
Earth Day,
Pie Day, Cake Day, and shit.
Technically now they got a holiday for each day. They celebrate something every day.
Every day now. President's Day. Damn. Out of school, into school, going back to school.
Okay,
Hey, so if you missing out on the main holidays, shit, you got something to. Hey, if you feel left out, you got something to mingle into. Oh yeah, I got a cat. National Cats Day. You go out and celebrate, go spend money.
They got Veterans Day. Like, damn. 420 nowadays. Yep. So it's all about the corporations making money. You know what I'm saying? So this all of that over there for their church to build up their support for their followers and to get more money out of them. That's it. That's what they give them. That's what their money pay for. Hacky sack and shit. Huh? It's called promotional.
Eat some party,
Promotion, yeah.
bring people to come, then they stop.
Yeah, go around and work the crowd.
Yeah, then they trap. They trapped in that stuff. Hey, they over there promoting the house of mirth. We in the house of mourning waiting on the sun of righteousness to shine on this place. Right, while they're in darkness, they're in the house of mirth. But the scripture says at the end of that mirth, it's empty, it's sad song, something to that effect. It's a paraphrase. So they can party all they want over there, and when it's all said and done, we're going to be the ones rejoicing. They're going to be the ones in that miserable state. Unless they repent to y'all about your own shot.
Right, man. Right, it's over. You know what I mean? Folly days. I'm tired of it, man. All right, go ahead. Precept, and then we get back to this.
It's Ezekiel chapter 13,
Proverbs 21 and 6.
verse
16. Proverbs 21 and 6.
verse 3. Thus saith Yahweh power, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have not seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the desert. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. And ultimately, that was talking about the prophets of Israel, but also going into these false prophets everywhere else here in America. They haven't done anything. They haven't done nothing for the Lord. They say they're doing stuff for the Lord. They say they're doing stuff for the congregation, but they're really not. They're doing everything for filthy lucre's sake. All right.
And also, that's talking about they ain't warned nobody of the destruction. So what does the fox do? It feeds on dead corpses, and when they see danger coming, it runs the opposite way. Don't give nobody no warning. You know what I'm saying? This place is that desert. So you're like a fox in the desert, man. He ain't gonna give nobody no warning, no tell no. If they see a trail of missiles coming, he's gonna go about his business.
Yeah, they feed on dead things, man. So they get rich off of our people staying in that desert.
So they haven't gone into the gaps. They're not truly sighing and crying for the abomination that be done here.
Yeah, that's going into the gaps is standing in defense of your people. And like you said in the beginning, turn it to the mediator. The mediator brings them together. That's the gap. There was a rift between us and the Most High. So to stand in the gaps is to bring that back together.
He's not doing that.
That's the standard of position of the house, because that's what he did. He came down he broke down that middle wall that was between us and the Father.
That's right, man. And what they do is they turn our people further away from the Lord. Say, no, he over there. Into the dark. Go that way. It's darker.
Not as darker.
Yeah, it's over there.
Hey, this leads back into the precept we just called. Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So basically, they're going further and further and further and further to darkness, just like he brought out. What does a fox do? It feeds on dead things. And that's exactly what they're doing. They want these people to remain dead, so why? So they can feed off their corpses, man. So the less understanding that they have, they're going to remain in the congregation of the dead.
Right. Hey, can I get Proverbs 21:16?
Proverbs
Oh,
21:16.
that's what I'm asking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know again.
Yeah. All right. This is Proverbs 21:16. It says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
There you go. So you know what I mean? All right, 1 Timothy 5:6. All right, we don't want to remain in the congregation of the dead, man. Believing lies that an Easter bunny can lay eggs. That's a lie, man. And you can look at us crazy, but we look at y'all even crazier if we believe in a bunny can lay eggs. Man. Teach it to children.
What you call for?
1 Timothy 5:6.
1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 6. 16? Verse 16. 6. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she is alive.
Right, so living in pleasure, read it again.
But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
Yep, that's the point. That's what I wanted. Because it said what? He that wandereth out of the way of understanding, he shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So that's talking about what? 2/3 of the men of our people. All right? And now, the women too. But somebody get that, raise up a child in the way to go. All right, but now read that again. What you just read out?
This is 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 6.
Yep.
But she that liveth in pleasure
But she, which is these women,
is dead
is dead.
while she liveth.
See why? Because they remain in that congregation of the dead. They're living in these pleasures. These are pleasures. All right? So he and she, Adam and Eve, you know, they still remain in the congregation of the dead. Man. All right, living in pleasure, wandering out of the way of understanding. Go ahead, brother.
This is Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
See, so how can these two leaders of their family, which are both in the congregation of the dead, which we just read, living in pleasures, is dead while she liveth, wandered out of the way of understanding, wandered off the path, man, into darkness, and they trying to teach children and teach the other people's children. So how can they're going to train them up to not depart? These are the children of our age back in the day. You know, we were children before. But now they're older and they didn't depart from it. You get me?
They still believe in the Tooth Fairy. They still believe in the Easter Bunny. They still believe in Santa Claus.
That's right, man. All right. Let's go to 1 Timothy. Somebody read that already? You already read that? Yeah. Jeremiah 8:3. I think we read that too. Ezekiel 3:17.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, in verse 17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Right, they're not watching for the people. See, they're going up into the gap. Watching. Watching what? The prophecies to warn our people before they come. Go ahead.
Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
Right, that's why we hear the word at the Lord's mouth, which is what? Which is from the sincere elders in the Akim that teach the truth. All right, that's the only one you're supposed to hear the word from. Not saying, oh, you got a church, or you went to a seminary, art school. All right, let me hear the word spoken through you. No. All right, everybody good? All right, go ahead.
Verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way to save his life,
Yep.
the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
That's what's going to happen. He's washing the blood off our hands. They're going to die in that same wickedness. Motherfucker, they probably going to be in a damn bunny suit. And have a damn heart attack because it's hot as hell out here. Look, you saw Snoop Dogg dressed up in a bunny suit one year. You know? They're going to have some idiot out here in a bunny suit probably later. But go ahead.
It says, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
Yep, so we're supposed to warn the people. That's what we come out here to do. Whether they hear it or forbear. And they most likely going to forbear it. They ain't going to want to hear it, right?
Verse 19, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
See that? So we get deliverance for our own soul. All right? So that's why we out here, man. To do what the Lord told us to do, to come out to the streets and reach his people. Not to build some damn temple, go under a 501c3 charter under the IRS, and then teach our people lies. You gotta go there. Don't even have to go there, man. All right? They're teaching the people smooth things. Smooth criminals. All right? You have one real quick? Jackson? You call one too? All right, whoever.
Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 4, it says, behold, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. But if a man be just and do that which is unlawful and right, and hath not eaten upon the mountains, neither hath lifted up his eyes to idols of the house of Israel, neither hath defiled his neighbor's wife, neither have come near to a mistress woman, but the point was all souls are the Father. So just like how they try to teach those children those things, they're going to have to keep those sins. That's what's going to lead them to death. Because before, it was the sins of the Father was fall onto the Son. But that's not going to happen anymore. Whoever sinneth, Father or Son, that's who's going to reap the judgment. So there ain't no excuse.
Yeah, that's what the Lord said. Not that the father's sins will fall on the child, but that lifestyle could affect the child. They can cause his whole house to get destroyed. You know, but the Lord said, no, He's gonna call one of a household, two of a city now. He said He came to turn father against son, mother against daughter now. Yeah, right in your house, you gonna be fixing the damn Easter ham, and your son probably gonna flip the damn table over like your house shot did. Start snapping. You know that like. All right, go ahead, bro. Quick, brother.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 6. If thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, example is what we should be celebrating the Passover, not Easter, right? Bringing our people back to the remembrance of how we really should be worshiping and praising Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. If thou put the brethren in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good minister of Yahweh Hamashiach, nourished up in the word of faith and of good doctrine, whereunto thou hast attained, but refuse profane and old wise fables, and exercise thyself rather into good godliness.
right? To basically depart from these paganist holidays and come back to the Lord in sincerity and the truth, because that's what he's looking for.
Right, very good.
That's 1 Timothy chapter 4, 6, and 7.
Yep. 2 Peter 1 and 16.
This is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 16. For we have not followed cunning, devised fables.
See that? The Lord said follow after righteousness, man. We ain't following those cunningly devised fables. Those are cunningly devised fables. How? First Maccabees, my bad, brother. 3 and 48, real quick. It's a cunningly devised fable put there by the devil.
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 8.
We're gonna prove
48.
48 is like.
This is First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. Yep. And laid open the book of the law.
That's what Antiochus Epiphanes did, the Greeks, 168 BC. They laid open the books of our laws, which is the scriptures. Go ahead.
Wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Right, and how did they do it? Not just by this picture, but first it was by false doctrine. They paint the image in your mind. You see that? So yeah, there's image too, but the first one back then, during the time of the Maccabees, they were putting up Zeus. They were putting their lies into our book. That one said they opened the book of the law and they started teaching lies in there. What's one of the ones they added in there? Cunningly devised fable. Finish that real quick. So we have not believed, right?
This is 2 Peter 1 and 16.
Right, Acts 12 and 1.
For we have not followed cunning, devised fables, when we made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, but were eyewitnesses of his majesty.
Right, now you good, brother. All right, so yeah, we have not followed cunningly devised fables. We are here to teach the truth and not fables which are lies. All right, so I read that? Acts 12 and 1. Let's go into the where they thought to paint the likeness of their images.
Acts chapter 12, verse 1. Now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hand.
Yep, I need real loud. They get loud.
All right, this is Acts 12 and 1. Now about the time, Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church.
Right, so that was Herod Agrippa the first. All right, and he stretched out his hand to vex Peter and James, the brother of John. Go ahead.
And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword.
Right, so he died in 44 AD. Right, these are accurate dates. This is when Peter was rescued out of the prison. Right, so what's his name? Herod Agrippa the first. He went out to try to kill Peter too. Go ahead.
And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also.
Right.
There were also the days of the unleavened bread.
Whoa. Unleavened bread. Go ahead.
And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to the four quaternions.
Right, 4 levels, like maximum security prison.
Of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the. You wanted me to read it verbatim, right?
Yeah.
To bring him forth to the people.
He said intending after Easter. You see that? So this is where they thought to paint the likeness of their images. This is one of them. All right? It said Easter, but we know the Feast of Unleavened Bread deals with the Passover. And on the Passover, you eat your bitter herbs, you say certain prayers, pray to the east, you eat a lamb.
Without seasoning, drink wine.
Yeah, like the menorah. It's a solemn assembly.
Blow the trumpet.
Blow the trumpet, the ram's horn, which I got one now. But yeah. So.
And they don't do none of that.
They don't do none of that. So they're following after the ways of their father, the devil. And that devil, that deceiver, he thought to paint the likeness of their images into our book. And one of those images is Easter, goes back to Ishtar, another idol. Another idol, but they painted. They wrote it in there. And when people read it, they're like, no, it's right there. It says Easter. It says Jebus.
Yeah.
That's that devil there. See that? So they put all that there to deceive our people, man. And to trip them up, make it a stumbling block. All right? precept? Sure. All right, no doubt. Let's keep going. Let's get Galatians 6 and 8. They over there singing. Nobody care about the singing, man.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 8. For he that soweth in his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
Real, look at Sakari.
Shit.
Sow to the flesh is gonna get you in trouble. And they're sowing to the flesh, man. They're sowing to their emotions. So they can be a happy Easter, they want to be happy. In America, where they say everybody has to pursue the happiness, and ain't nothing happy here. Right. The Lord said the mirth of the land is gone.
They can't go pursue some shit you continue to chase and never go get.
Never gonna get it. Look at Will Smith, he said it. Will Smith was on Drink Champs. And he said, what happens when you are at the end of sex, or at the end of money, at the end of idols, at the end of riches? He said he reached that level. And he said he realized that there's nothing there that never make him fully happy. The first thing I thought about was the pursuit of happiness. You know what I'm saying? And he was in the damn movie. And he never felt happiness either.
In the movie or in real life.
Damn. So he never found it, but we found it just by this. Oh, this is a turn. This is a changing of the mind. The Lord bless us with true happiness, man. Day in, day out, man.
I got it, you know?
Okay, go ahead. Real quick, let me get him real quick.
All right, this is Psalms chapter 51, verse 14. No. Verse 12, it says, restore unto me the joy of thy salvation. That's the happiness we're looking for. The joy of thy salvation, and sinners shall be... Wait, Shlaka. It says, restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. And that's what we're looking for. That's our pursuit of happiness, to get that free spirit, which is a free man willing to be able to do the will of the Lord. And the joy of that salvation, that's the only thing that we should be happy about in this time. Other than that, we're in the house of mourning. We're not in the house of feasting. The house of feasting is going to lead them straight to their destruction. So you got to walk that tight rope, because on either side, you got something trying to persuade you to fall off. You know what I'm saying? And there was a cunningly, that's why it says cunningly. They're strategically devised.
We walking that tight rope in the winds of doctrine. Trying to knock them off the damn line.
Yeah.
They get blown away with it.
So once we enter into Yahweh Bashim Shai's rest, that's happiness. There's nothing else happiness beside that. You'll find out when the missiles start here.
It's Sirach 15 and 17. Before a man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall be given him. I'm skipping verse 20. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given any man license to sin. The 2/3 of our people are actively choosing death. They're not choosing the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai. They're making their covenant with death, and their works are sealing their judgment. They don't want to repent to Yahweh Shema Shai, receive that everlasting life, receive that cleanliness. They want to wallow in the filth. What they're doing over there, that's spiritual unclean. The Lord is not going to let them come anywhere near him. But they think they love the Lord. They love the Lord with mouth only, mouth service only. And he's going to give them what they ask for, which is that death by pain. That's how they're going to learn the ways of Christ.
Right, they don't want to make it. They don't want to make it. They don't want to make it to the new covenant. Jeremiah 31 and 31. They don't want to make it to that. They don't want to make a covenant with Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They don't want to. The covenant is marriage. They don't want to be the bride for the groom Yahweh Shai. Instead, they want to marry or be covenanted unto death.
They want the covenant that was made with all the heathens to cut off the name of Israel from the face of the earth. That's the covenant they're part of.
Yeah, they're lovers. That's what they call it. The scripture call them that. And also people say I'm married to the money.
Get married to the darkness.
I'm married to my guy, sleep with my guy. You know, they be saying that. They always married to something other than Yahweh Shai.
Married to these streets.
Yeah, married to the streets.
I didn't
Married to the game.
They bound to the Lord. And they bound to judgment. And they don't even know it. They don't know what they tied to. They're trapped in the snare of this world.
They see the time, but they don't know what it's saying.
Yeah, and they got a dog on the leash. They got their judgment. They just toting around, waiting on the Lord to activate it.
Right, man. All right. Isaiah 65:11.
Finish the Galatians 6 and 8.
Over to 9.
All right. Galatians 6 and 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
There you go. And right now, Easter, all these different holidays, folly days, they're sowing to the flesh, man. You know, it's a feeling that they want to feel inside, happiness. They want to see the children happy, laughing. It's all for the kids, man.
Man, that's funny you say that because I was watching something on TV and the dude said some crazy shit. It wasn't crazy, it made perfect sense. There's a lot of women out here that say they want to be married, right? But what they really want is a wedding. They want that emotional celebration. But they don't want to do what it takes to be married. They don't want to have to make those sacrifices. They don't want to have to do those sacrifices what it takes to be joined unto Yahweh because it's a struggle. But they want that flashy ceremony, you know what I'm saying, with all that nice garment on. They want that flashy look, but they don't want to do what it takes to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
They want the trophy, they don't want to put in the time on the team.
Yeah, they want to corrupt the crowd. My mother always said too, she said a lot of women have children, but they don't want to be mothers.
Con, it was a woman getting. She had to go to a therapist for the marriage because of certain words like for sickness or for health or for to obey. She said we didn't talk about that in counseling. So stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't want. They want the glitz and glamour.
Right, but don't want to obey the Lord.
A quick interjection.
Brother's business, man.
This is Luke 14 and 27. And whosoever doeth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. 2/3 of our people, they don't want to bear the burdens and afflictions of Yahweh Shemel Shai. They rather go play hacky sack, go to cookouts, and parlay in this world. But they at cross, they see us on shining the light in the dark world. They don't want no parts of that. No, boy, they look at our ways as foolish, but our ways of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And they're going to have to wait until the Lord makes it manifest who is elect, who is chosen are, those walking that straight gate in their way, that right path. And that's when they're going to find out that their ways were wicked. By not partaking in the workmanship of Yahweh Shemel Shai, bearing their cross, taking the easy way, the wide gate, broad way, instead of walking straight and narrow.
All right, next one, Isaiah. All right, real quick, let me get no, don't go fast. We need to pull out one of them. Okay. Right, brother.
This is Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for the truth.
They're the ones that forget the Lord. They literally forgetting the Most High, man. All right, they like, yo, forget him, get him out of here. Teach unto us a smooth thing. We don't want to hear the truth. Cause them to cease from before us. So he said, what?
And that furnish the drink offering unto the number.
Right? Go ahead.
Therefore will I number you.
No, you gotta read it again. The table.
God. Forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for the truth.
For that truth.
And the furnish the drink offering unto the number.
There you go. So all of that over there is prepared. So they ain't gonna do nothing but celebrate that folly of Easter, which goes into Ishtar, which is a Babylonian holiday. All right, so they are the ones that set up the table for people to worship these idols. All right, they set up the altars, they set up the temples, they set up these churches, they set up the events, they set up the TV stations and YouTube pages, the stage. See that? And they furnish it for what? The idols of money and wealth. All right, riches and wealth, man. That's Gad and Mene. Those are two idols that they were serving back then.
Interjection.
I'm gonna let some other people get some time. Go ahead, bro.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11. It says, for other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahweh Shai. So you can't lay any other foundation than that's already laid, which is Yahweh Shai. And our people, they try to lay other foundations.
such as this Ishtar or Ashtaroth, and whatever other day that they like to celebrate or be a part of. That's another foundation that they're trying to lay. The only foundation that you should be building upon and can only build upon is Yahweh Shai. Any other foundation outside of that is nothing. You just gonna it's gonna crumble in the end. When the test comes, it's gonna fall. God.
First John 5 and 10. My bad, brother. I got you.
First John 5 and 10.
Yeah. Somebody said something. What said? Somebody bring it up.
The book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 10. He that believeth on the Son of Yahweh have the witness in himself. He that believeth not Yahweh have made him a liar, because he believeth not the record that Yahweh gave of his Son.
Right. So it's not only are they laying a new foundation, they laying a whole new story about him. He say you study. It's written in the volume of the book. It's written about him. So they're trying to lay a whole new foundation. The foundation was the truth about the Son of God. And they try to lay a whole new foundation, man. And they believe, why? Because they believe not the record that Yahweh gave about his Son. Right? Now, where was that? Let's keep going.
Yeah, because when Yahweh Shai was baptized by John the Baptist and that spirit hovered over him like a dove, he said, "This is my beloved Son, hear ye him." And he was the one bearing the writer's ink on, being the author of his own salvation. So he said he was written in the volume of the book. What story are you reading? You know, they're creating a whole totally, they don't like the director's cut. They want to make their own.
I'll tell you the story about Michael Jordan in the future. I tell you he had long hair. He wore a glittering jacket. And he was like, he did that a lot. He did spins and shit. Yeah. And he had a white glove. That's Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Right. See that?
See that shit? So I done laid a whole new foundation. A whole different story.
They mixed two stories together.
Mixed two different stories together.
They made it a folk tale.
They made it a folk tale about our Lord, man. His true name is Yahweh Shai. He's a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. Right? We're very important people. We're not supposed to celebrate Easter. That goes into Ishtar, Babylonian idol, idolatry. All right? 1 Corinthians 10 and 21. Getting through this, John, a little bit today.
This is First Corinthians chapter 10, verse 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord, Yahweh, and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord, Yahweh's table, and of the table of the devils.
See now, he said they prepare a table for that truth. The Lord said you can't be sitting at these Easter tables, you know, the Easter ham, and try to sit at the Lord's table. You know, so all those tables they prepared is you good?
Okay.
All right. So all those tables they prepared is towards the devil. But the Lord said you can't sit at those tables. You got to choose your table you're gonna sit at. Just like when you go to jail, they say you got to know where to sit. You sit with the wrong people, you might lose your life. Right. Keep going, man. First Maccabees 1 and 41. Yeah, all the way to 55. First Maccabees 1 and 41, all the way to 55.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Right, and this is when our people became what? Hellenized, which is that Greek mindset. All right, following after the ways of the Greeks, of which they sought to paint the likeness of their images. Their what? Greek images, and those Greek idols, and that idolatry, which is Zeus and all this madness, Queen of Heaven, whatever you want to call it, it all goes back further to Babylon and Assyria. All right, go ahead.
Verse 42. First Maccabees chapter 2, it's like you 1. And everyone should leave his loaves. So all the heathen agreed according to the So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many.
Right. So just like today, all the holidays that America pushes, a lot of these nations around the world, they follow in suit. They do the same thing. All right, go ahead.
Verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
Right, there you go. So, but somebody say, what's that in the Apocrypha? We say a remnant. A remnant shall be saved. Israel's the sands of the sea. All right, because he said many of the Israelites followed after the ways of these Greeks, just like today. All right, they're following after the ways of the pagan belief. I forgot what I asked for. Yes, my God. Romans 9:27.
This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 27. What is that,
Isaiah?
Isaiah also crieth concerning Israel, though the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant shall be saved.
A remnant, a small residue. You know, 7,000 that bow beneath the bow. I think that's about 3 or 4. I think that's
You said 7,000 who didn't bow?
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
Yeah.
Romans 11.
You got it.
Romans 11. Oh, you want me to go to the point?
Yeah.
Romans 11 and 4. For what saith the answer of Yahweh to him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed to the knee to the image of Baal. Even so then, at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
There you go, that remnant again. All right, so there's a remnant according to the election of grace, man. This is through the spirit of truth that came during the time of John the Baptist, right? So, yeah, there's going to be many that follow after their pernicious ways, man. Follow after those lies, all right? I got anything? All right, if not, we keep going.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 44. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the city of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Yep, and you don't think they did that to us during the times of slavery? They did the same thing when we was in slavery. You know, they were celebrating Easter. They were celebrating Christmas. Esau was celebrating 4th of July. And after a while, our people picked up on it. All right, same thing happened again right here in Babylon. Same thing again, man. All right? Right, and the eggs were like the seeds, but the seeds that they were hunting back then was our children. Esau hunting us down. That we were the eggs of the Easter egg, man. They were hunting slaves. You try to run, they come hunt you down.
Verse 45, First Maccabees chapter 1. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
Right, they're still profaning the Sabbath to this day. They celebrate on Sunday, they celebrate on Friday, Good Friday as they call it, Saturday, Saturn's Day, Sundays, Sun God Day, which goes back to solar. All right? So they're still profaning the Lord's true Sabbath. Go ahead. This goes according to the new moon.
Verse 46, and pollute the sanctuary.
Right, they're polluting the Sabbath too, Slaki. The Sabbath also is the Passover. So they're polluting that. They're polluting that Passover, that Sabbath, by the Easter.
Verse 46, First Maccabees 1, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves and temples of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh
Right, somebody get that temple made with hands.
and unclean beasts.
Right, so they set up temples, they set up groves back then. Why? So they could do their idol worship. That's them preparing a place for people to go and start their religion. You know, they would build the temples and have people go in there and do their idol worship. They would celebrate Easter, which is a damn bunny land age. That don't make no sense, man. All right, he trying to play music all loud, like, but I thought he was our friend. I'm taking water and pour it out.
Right in front of
This is Acts chapter 7 and verse 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet.
See that? So what did they say, brother? They just said they built all this stuff, made with hands. But the Lord said He don't do all that. All right. Well, somebody get three are gathered in my name. All right. He just said they built groves, they built chapels, they built all of this. But the Lord said, what again, brother?
This is Acts 7 and 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet.
Right, there you go. All right. I got two. I need this one actually real quick.
Book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 20. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
Here you go. All right, so the Lord said He don't go over their temples. He's not over there. There could be 1,000. This whole circle could be filled up with their congregation. And they'll say, yeah, we're the majority. You think the Lord ain't with us? No. That's right. That's right. The prophets by all. Why did no, we gotta get that. Yeah, wide is the gate, man. Let's get that one. Oh, that's beautiful, bro. Yeah, I think I saw too. Yeah, you keep going till you get this one. Wide is the gate.
Okay. It's First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 46. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and temples of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. And shit, they do that damn near for all they quote unquote holidays, man. You know, they shit, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Just like the bishop said, man, hey shit, on this pagan holiday, you asking the Lord to bless this profane meat, unclean meat that He told you not to eat. Hey, shit, He already told you no. That was a post I shared the other day. You asked Him to bless this pork, and He already told you no. He told you no before you even went and got it.
That's right. That's right. Leviticus 26 and 30. Yep.
This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Right, man. He said what? Many there be that go in thereat. Many go into these churches. That's what they call mega churches. It's many people that start together there.
They malleable. They don't know how to think for themselves. They're easily influenced. So therefore, when they see that wide gate shit, hey man, hey, everybody over here, let's walk through it. They think that's the right way. So they don't take the time out to think for themselves, to look in to what the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has given us to abide by, man. So therefore, that's why Scripture say there's a way that seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. All right? Shit, just like the apostle went into the other day, man. Hey, going in that straight, shit, it's like going down the straight of Hormuz or something, man. Hey, when you using that ship being your body, that ship being your person, man, you got to make sure you maneuvering through that straight. Why? Because that straight, shit, you can't go too fast, you can't go too far to the right, you can't go too far to the left. But guess what? You're going to be hitting them borders of land, man. You want to make sure you straight up in that canal, all right? Shit, you don't want to, hey, you don't want to keep a heavy too load on you. Why? Because shit, you're going to go start digging into I forget the word, but the mud up under the water, you know? Hey, shit, you want to make sure you're going down that right path, the path that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has set for us, man.
That path is so narrow that only one can enter in at a time, man. That's how narrow that path is. That's why I say wide is the gate that leads to destruction. So when you see a lot of our people going celebrating Easter and stuff like that, that you're being led by your shepherds, man, by your pastors to destruction. You know, celebrating paganist holidays.
They fill up them houses. They got to expand their space, man. They get more tax exempt. All right. Somebody grab that. Anything real quick. He said what? He said many there be that go in there, right? So let's get Jeremiah 5 and 26. Right. And we were talking about the groves a minute ago, and the chapels that they built. The Lord said He don't dwell in their temples made with hands. As wide is the way. Narrow is the way, and wide is the way that leads to destruction. And many there be that go in thereat. Meaning, and the brother Arakar was talking about your vessel, but within that vessel there has to be light, as we were talking about earlier. Other than that, there's nothing but darkness and blindness within that vessel, those individuals. So if you take each individual or vessel, and there's nothing but darkness, and you gather them into a mega church, you increase nothing but darkness in that house. Let's read that real quick. Jeremiah 5 and 27.
This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 27. It says, as a cage is full of birds.
As a cage full of birds. Why? Because it's a trap. Those churches are traps, and they get led to them.
This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 27. It says, as a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit.
See that? So are their houses full of deceit, man. A cage full of birds, man. It's filled to the damn wall. Sometimes you go in these churches, you gotta stand up on the wall. There don't even be no seats. All right? You know the deacons got their seats in the front. Except for you gotta pay $100 for messing with the other church.
Yeah, you gotta pay $100. Hey, and I just thought about it. Y'all adding sin to sin just to go sin. Shit was passing by. I forgot who I was with the other day, man. The barbershop was packed to the T. I thought they were throwing a party out there, baby. Hey, she in there getting sharp as hell for Sunday. Like, damn.
Two times a year, a lot of jakes go to church. That's Easter and New Year's.
Hey, come on.
Or a funeral.
A funeral.
That's about it. Yo, man, it's crazy, yo. Cause, so their houses are full of birds, but it's a cage full of birds. So they're trapping. What they say, the hunter going out to hunt the speckled bird. So a portion of us, 2/3 are being trapped. A portion of 2/3 are being trapped in these churches, or these mosques, or these other religions. All right. Somebody else reading something? Matthew 15 and 14. He probably might move off of that.
Matthew 15 and 14.
Matthew 15 and 14.
This is Matthew chapter 15, verse 14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch.
There you go. So the blind have led the blind into these church houses, man. You see that? They're claiming to lead them into salvation or into being exalted. Instead, they're bringing them into being condemned in a ditch. You know? So those churches are going to be like little ovens soon. For some damn birds. There's a bunch of chickens in there. Birds.
Like smoke.
Cage full of birds.
It's a rotisserie chicken out there.
Damn, KFC, cage full of chicken.
Hey, hey man, damn. Hey, when the heat get the heating up, you know the music they like that.
Yeah, buddy. So let's get this real quick. This one right here, Leviticus 26 and 30.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 30. And I will destroy your high places.
The Lord said He's going to destroy all their high places that they built up in this place, man. Go ahead.
And cut down your images.
And He's going to cut down all their images. How are He going to do it? He's going to cut them down with a missile this time. All right? See what He did today, guys. You know? So He's going to cut down all their images, man. He's going to start mentally. We're going to cut them with the truth. And He's going to cut them with His missile. That's why He said consume the spirit of His mouth. Can I get that real quick? All right, go ahead, brother.
And cast your carcasses for the carcasses of your idols.
Woo. So he said he's going to cast your carcasses, which is lifeless bodies, upon the lifeless sculpture of your idols. Your little Jeebus, or your damn Tammuz necklace. So that's all they're dealing with is Tammuz and the Queen of Heaven.
This is 2 Thessalonians,
Right. So the Lord going to destroy them in them churches, man.
chapter 2, verse 8. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Right, that's us cutting them with the word. Out here today, we consuming these people with the spirit of the Lord's mouth, the spirit of truth, right?
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
And he's gonna destroy them and cut down physically all. Let's get that the lake of fire. What's that? Revelation. What? Let's get that one. Let's get that one. In Revelation, where it said the false prophet. Where the false prophet are.
Oh my God. This is Matthew.
Yeah, you can bring it up. You got it.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 19. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Woo, we just said that. You can speak on it, they're cutting down their groves.
So the 2/3 of our people, they're not bringing forth good fruits. The Lord didn't go out here and tell us to go chase Easter eggs and all these things. 2/3 of our people are looking for the cars, clothes, the things of this world. That's not good works. The good works is gathering the elect of Yahweh by Shemiah Shai, partaking of this harvest. But 2/3 of our people don't want to do that. So they're going to have to get things that they're trusting in for salvation. They're going to lead them to their destruction. They're being led to the slaughterhouse by these false prophets. That's why I said the blinders of the blind, they both going to end up in the ditch. So whether it be your Jeebus, your Easter bunny, your money, your bag, whatever it is you chasing, it's leading you to a ditch. That lake of fire.
Yeah, because their groves, all of their groves and their churches, they came from what? Europe. Right? So they came from Europe, man. All these schools, everything is set up from Europe. All right, where's the churches at? Politics, the banking system, the religious system, secret societies, financial system. Everything is set up from Europe, man. The educational system, you know, and definitely their churches, the 501c3 charter, goes into the IRS. All right, so let's read that.
Revelation chapter 16, verse 13.
Right.
And I saw three unclean spirits,
like
frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon.
Right, the dragon comes from what? England. And England is over the Bank of England, your IRS, your feds, the FBI, the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve is over what? You got the FBI, you got NATO, which comes out of Europe. All right, so that's their military, banking system, and also the church system, which all stems from the Roman Catholic Church. So is the Roman Catholic Church foundation here in America? No. When you talk about casting the false prophet into the lake of fire, he's not talking about over there in Rome. He's talking about this right here, their power that's here. They're going to get destroyed. And stuff with these churches, go ahead, brother.
And out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet.
See that? So everything that they spoke and they established here, the Lord is going to destroy. All right, all these churches are under the Roman Catholic Church. Somebody get that now? Revelation 21? 20?
Revelation chapter 20 and verse 10, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night.
Notice it said the beast and the false prophet there. It's talking about their power, their power that they have over here. This is their military system, their police, whatever you can think of, and their church system is all going to be destroyed here. All right? The staff of the wicked is going to be destroyed. That's what they use to control the whole world with. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 10, it says, it shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
They're going to be tormented here day and night forever and ever. They be destroyed. So that was it, right? No, that was the point. Destroying, cutting down their church, cutting down their groves.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 40, verse 46. It says, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
There you go, right? So that was it. Maybe a little bit more on that probably, right?
Verse 48, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable,
Right.
with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. Profanation.
It's like, it is a profane nation. Right? That was it. Right away, so
I stopped at 47.
if you see anything, let me maybe. I do see that. Go ahead, brother.
Isaiah 66, verse 17. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree, in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination in the mouth shall be consumed together, saith the Lord Yahweh. It says, they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree. So all these peoples, all these different diverse people you might see the heathen, you might see, Israelites, Jakes, but they all behind one tree, basically in one place, okay? Purifying themselves, or so they think, purifying themselves, okay, with their idols, and eating what? Swine's flesh, the abominations, okay? That's that shrimp, okay? That crab, these crab boils that they like to do. They barbecues as well. Barbecues, all right? And what does it say? And the mouse, I don't even know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They might get down with that too. I don't know.
That's what they did in the ancient times. They would, in the same mindset, they would eat the mouse.
They eat the mouse.
But the Lord saying they that trifling that they gonna do even worse than that today.
No.
You know what I mean? So yeah, back then it was the mouse. They had the mouse on the platter too. So those same people.
Squeak, squeak.
First Maccabees 1.
1 and 1?
Yeah. Yeah. 9 and 9. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too much into Maccabees.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1.
No, 1 and 10.
1 verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, the water, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the...
You know what? 15 minutes be served. I was about to say, damn, 10 minutes, we almost done. And we over here serving too, man. Y'all want to eat our food, man? Y'all see this platter? I'm just messing with you.
Come on over, y'all more than welcome. 15 minutes, we'll be serving.
All right, thanks again, though, man. All right, yo. You got to be like Peter Pan. Remember Peter Pan? When he had the imaginary food, and Peter just didn't get it. And the children were like, you gotta use your imagination, Peter. And he saw it. He had that old wine, that old bottle.
Yeah, I understand him being polite, but he would have known the platter was being served right here.
He would have caught that spiritually. It's like we serving right now. He would have like, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, no idea.
He would have caught the spirit would have like led him to understand that.
Yeah, he just had complete disregard.
And just what the brother Yakarad, the scripture he brought out, behind the tree and swine's flesh, like he had pizza, right? Yeah. Like they'll say, it's probably pork all over. Meat lovers probably got over there.
50 meat lovers.
Not one.
Right, that's it. And well, I don't want none of this. They would love to see us
commune with them.
Sitting down and supping with them.
They would love that.
They'll feel like they broke up follow ground between the two, and we met halfway type shit.
What the most I say? Have no word.
And I wouldn't want to start. Most I say in the scriptures, what have no works with darkness.
Right, I got that. We're gonna bring that out too. Wisdom of Solomon 2:12. This what he really doing. They was over there talking.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean, contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law, and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education.
Right.
All right. Cause go ahead, keep going.
Verse 13. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High,
Wisdom of Solomon 5.
and he calleth himself the child of the Lord.
Yeah, that's what we telling them. Go ahead.
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
So what are we made?
To reprove our thoughts.
So we're made to reprove their thoughts, man. That's it. That's the only reason we're here is to reprove their thoughts. Go ahead.
He is grievous, verse 15. He is grievous unto us even to behold.
They don't even like to see us here. They want us to move, man. That's why we're like a thorn in their side. They don't want to see us here. They say, cause the Holy One to cease from us, man.
And that's what he's doing by trying to put food in our mouth.
Right. Yeah, shut up. That's right. Yeah.
Stop us from talking.
Yep, don't bite the hand that feeds you. They let me feed them so they won't bite.
For his life is not like other men's.
Right. Our life is not like other people that y'all see. Right?
His ways are of another fashion.
Right, not of this church's fashion. But guess what it's going to lead us to? Salvation. You know what? Wisdom of Solomon 5.
Wisdom Solomon 5 and 1.
Something more on that, right? We're going to lead right back into it. Yeah, you had it?
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him and made no account of his labor.
There you go. So there's something driving us to come out here. That's Proverbs 1. Come out here. We're different. Go ahead.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
See that? It was strange. It's going to be strange to them. Just like we're strange to them now. Go ahead.
So far beyond all that they look for.
So far beyond all that they look for. Go ahead.
And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves.
It's going to be within himself. It's going to be a witness to himself. We don't need the witness. All right? We don't need to be around to see them get their destruction. It's going to be a witness within himself. I need the point to come out. Real quick. Go ahead.
This was he whom we had sometimes in derision.
See, this was he. This was he whom we had sometime in derision. The same one that was what? Read that again.
This was he.
Yeah, go ahead.
This was he whom we had sometimes in derision, in a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life as madness, and his end to be without honor. How was he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and his lot among the saints?
Come on, man. He wasn't over there celebrating Easter with us. How he become one of the Lord's children? Go ahead.
Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of the righteousness have not shined unto us, and the Son of righteousness rose not upon us.
Oh, the Lord was never dealing with them in the first place. They were always in the darkness. They're going to realize that at the end. That's cool, bro. Come on. Go ahead.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 13. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord.
Right, that's the separation we're making. And because of that, they point the fingers at us, and they say that's the bad guy. Go ahead.
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
So, but we're made as a sharp sword to reprove their thoughts, to cut the poison out. Go ahead.
Verse 15. He is grievous unto us even to behold.
Right, we're grievous even for them to even see. All right, they don't even want to see us over here. We are here to wake up the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to the fact that they're the Israelites of the Bible to come out of this wickedness called Easter. All right, go ahead.
For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion.
Right, our ways are of another fashion, not what our people are used to seeing. Hey, what's up, bro? Peace,
What's up?
How
you doing, baby?
All right, now. But our ways are of another fashion. not our people are used to sin. All right, go ahead.
Verse 16. We are esteemed of him.
Want to order anything? All right, no. Go ahead.
We are esteemed of him as counterfeits.
Appreciate you, bro. What's up?
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Yeah, it's all love.
I'm here out here people that myself.
All right, I got
Some people this, some people don't.
Sometimes they don't, man.
But yeah, y'all
All right, same to you, man. Go ahead.
Verse 16. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits.
Right, they look at us like counterfeits. They just look at us like counterfeits.
He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness.
Yeah, we stay away from these people like it's filthy. When they celebrate Easter and the Easter bunny that lay eggs, we stay away from that. That's filthy to us because it's lies. We don't want to teach our children lies anymore. We want to teach the truth of Yahweh and his son Yahushua and the Israelites, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, now bless y'all, yo. Go ahead.
He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed and maketh his boast that the Most High Yahweh is his father.
That's right, man. It's not pride. It's just we have confidence and it's trust, right? In Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. When we say we make our boast that he is our father. Now you put yours up, just like Elijah said to the prophets of Baal. You stand with your idols, and we'll stand with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and let's see who wins. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing all the way to the end. All right, that was it.
One more.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 17. It says, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him.
Right, let's see if his words be true. Hey, y'all want something to eat? Come on over here, y'all. Let's see if they really trying to stand on 10. All right. You got something? Go ahead, brother.
This is Ephesians. Say we're gonna get that right. Say we're gonna get that right. This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11. It says, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. So the Lord tells us not to have fellowship, not to link up, not to sit down with, not to sup with those who work darkness or the unfruitful works of darkness, but we are to rather what? Reprove them, correct, blame, point out what's wrong so that our people can amend their ways.
Right, quick point, y'all. All right, 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. Let's try to move fast now. 2 Corinthians 10 and 4.
2 Corinthians 10 and 4.
Yep.
For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Right. We're not out here to fight our people physically. We know that. Go ahead. We're warring against the spirit. The lies that were told to our people. Go ahead. That's a battle of the mind.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
The weapons are our war. We're fighting a spiritual battle right now, whether they like it, they know it, or like it or not. We're fighting for their soul. Go ahead.
But mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down the stronghold.
That's right. We are here to pull down these damn strongholds, man. You know, and maybe we've done that through a few minds today. You know, go ahead.
Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach.
Yeah, that's all these high thoughts. That's what it said. They're gonna pull down their high altars. All right. So that's Easter too. Look at that. That's an Easter bunny basket, ain't it? Cool. Maybe not. I like that.
I agree.
looking festive.
I'm glad we ain't carnal.
It's a dainty. It's a dainty, nevertheless.
Yeah, glad we ain't carnal. Like, it's Easter bunny basket. That's my purse. Deuteronomy 4:17. You ever be a dog in there? Deuteronomy 4:17.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 17. The likeness of any beast that is on the earth.
One more verse up. My bad.
16?
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 4:16. Lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image.
Whoa, so our people are corrupting themselves by making graven images, man. Go ahead.
The similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female.
This devil here, that's what they really celebrate. Jesus. All right, that's why he said 10 minutes, come over here. Go ahead, keep going, y'all.
The likeness of any beast that is on the earth. The likeness of any.
The likeness of any beast. What's that, an Easter bunny?
Deuteronomy 4:17.
the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground,
There you go.
the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth. Keep going.
Yep, that was it. Oh, it said driven to worship them, the planets and stars.
I said, and least thou lift up thy eyes up to heaven.
Yeah.
Keep reading.
That was it. You read that?
No, I didn't. I'm finished. Yeah. Great. All right, Deuteronomy 4:19. And least thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, shouldst be driven to worship them.
Right. So that's what our people are doing today. They're worshiping idols. Now you can see the real spiritual battle. You hear them and you hear us. That's the real thing that's happening right now. The other stuff is a lie. You know, trying to bring us water and stuff. This is the real situation. It's a battle happening right